by the time of Isha, he could not move. He could not move. And he lost consciousness. He woke up for a moment, and the first thing he said, Asalla an-nas? The first thing he said, Asalla an-nas? Did people perform their salah? Aisha, our mother, in whose presence he died, she said, لا يا رسول الله فإنهم في انتظارك. No, Ya Rasulullah, they are still awaiting for you. They have hope. Then he said, Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, bring me al-mikhdab, this big vessel with water, cool fresh water. He entered inside of it and he refreshed himself and bathed and got out to get some strength. And as he stood up to walk to inside the masjid, he fell. أغمي عليه, and he lost consciousness. He wakes up a while later. And the first thing he says, أصلى الناس? أصلى الناس؟ أصلى الناس؟ لا يا رسول الله هم في انتظارك. He tries that again, washes and tries to get up, and he can't, and he falls thrice. أصلى الناس. Finally, he appointed Abu Bakr radiyallahu ta'ala anhu to lead Salatul Isha. And Abu Bakr as-Siddiq led Salatul Isha of Thursday night, and the Fajr Salah of Monday, and 3 days in between. The scholars say about 17 salawat were led by Abu Bakr in the presence of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam. Monday morning, Fajr time, Abu Bakr radiyallahu ta'ala anhu is the Imam of the believers. Suddenly, the curtain opens. From the private quarters of Aisha radiyallahu ta'ala anha, and that door opened directly into the masjid. In the front rows of the masjid, the curtain is open, and Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam is standing at that door. Seeing Abu Bakr radiyallahu anhu leading his ummah in salah. The last sight from this dunya of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sahbihi wasallam was his ummah in salah. His ummah united in salah. That was the last sight of his ummah. They were so elated, so happy. قال أنس كادوا يفتتنون في صلاتهم فرحا برسول الله. out of joy. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam now is healed. They thought he came to lead us again. No, he did not. When he looked at them, he smiled. تبسم وضحك. He smiled, and then he closed the curtain. And went back. The last, very last seconds or minutes. Abdul Rahman ibn Abi Bakr radiyallahu ta'ala anhuma enters the private quarters of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam. And he's laying in the arms of Aisha against her noble chest. And Abdul Rahman was carrying a miswak. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam said, Aisha, who read with her eyes of her head and her eyes of her heart every move, external and internal, of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, it seems, she said, I knew, as he looked at Abdul Rahman, that he perhaps wanted siwak. At that moment, Ya Rasulullah, at that moment, she said, I told him, would you like the siwak, Ya Rasulullah? He moved his head, yes. She took it from him, and then she never forgot this to be one of her most special privileges with Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. قالت اختلط ريقي بريقه عند موته. My saliva mixed with his at the moment of his death. For she said to him, as the siwak was hard, she said, shall I soften it for you? He moved his head. Yes. She took it in her noble, sweet mouth and softened it and gave it to him, and he took it in his mouth. And right after that, raised his head, his eyes, and said, moved his sweet lips, and Aisha said, he said, مع الذين أنعمت عليهم من النبيين والصديقين والشهداء والصالحين اللهم اغفر لي وارحمني اللهم الرفيق الأعلى اللهم الرفيق الأعلى اللهم الرفيق الأعلى. with those whom you graced from among the Nabiyeen and the Muqarrabeen and the Shuhada and the Salihin. Oh Allah, forgive me. Oh Allah, grant me rahmah. Oh Allah, the company of the Most High. Oh Allah, the company of the Most High. Oh Allah, the company of the Most High. أحبك يا رسول الله.